You're telling me this nigga picked three anime for this video, three random anime, and he just said it went three for three, and you had the audacity to title this video "Romance Anime Suck." Bro, please. I can't, bro. I can't. I don't understand. I don't understand. All right, chat. We got romance anime suck. Now, I'm a big romance anime person. I love me a romance anime. So, to tell me that my genre sucks, you're gonna have to do some convincing here.
I hate romance anime. Well, that's not entirely accurate. It's weird because I'm a Valentine's Day baby, being born on February 14th, a day known for love, so naturally you would assume that I'd love all things relating to it. So if you would like to wish me a happy birthday in the comments, I'd love to read them. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. This guy clearly just doesn't watch romance anime in general, and if he does, it's just the popular stuff. Well, that's just wrong. I've really enjoyed lesser known shows like Orange or...
See, yeah, this is you. You just lost me, because if you did not just say Orange is a lesser known romance, and you're about to say Your Lie in April, no way. No way. These are not lesser known anime. These are not lesser known romances. Anybody who watches romance probably heard about Orange and definitely heard about Your Lie in April.
Love has always been 10 centimeters apart, and the movie, To Me, the One Who Loved You. From my notes, I've watched 57 romance anime, and after looking through my ratings for them, I never realized just how much I don't really like the genre. The average rating of romance shows for me is among the lowest, coming in at less than a 6 average rating. I know romance anime isn't the first genre I seek out when I want to watch something, but seeing romance being so low rated kind of surprised me. It's not my favorite like it is for many other people. I'm much more of a psychological kind of guy. It's weird because I usually have a decent time watching romance anime too. Let's put this further into perspective. According to my anime list stats, romance is among my lowest rated genres. Out of the 57 romance anime I've watched, I've given 49% of them a 6 or lower. Now for me, a 6 out of 10 is okay, but anything lower than that is very forgettable or just bad. Even a 6 out of 10 isn't that great. So seeing that half of romance is mediocre at best for me is not a good thing. There's definitely some romance anime that I've loved. I have 3 of them in my top 10 anime of all time. Your Lie in April, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, and Kaguya-sama.
Now, Bunny Girl Senpai, I hate Bunny Girl Senpai. It is literally one of the worst romances ever. It's up there with Rent a Girlfriend. So to hear that in your top 3 is just it hurts because you're about to discredit my whole genre and you got a garbage ass romance in your top 3, man. I can't take you serious, man. I can't. Love is War is the generic. Everyone got Love is War in their top 3 romances. When in actuality, Love is War is more like a slice of life comedy show that just has romance in it. Real talk, bro. But Love is War is not really a romance for real.
Love is War. But there are some romance anime that I thoroughly hated. Shows like Girlfriend Girlfriend, Say I Love You, and Shikamori's Not Just a Cutie, to name a few. There are other shows that before watching I expected them to be horrible, but I watched them anyway because you never know until you've actually experienced them. Shows like Rent a Girlfriend and My Stepmom's Daughter is My Ex. Yeah, those shows were awful. These garbage shows definitely tank the ratings, so it's not fair to say that I hate all romance. Also, in the genre's defense, I haven't watched many of the highest rated shows yet. As a matter of fact, I've probably watched more garbage than good, so I do expect the rating to...
Alright, YouTube, let me ask you a question. Right? I sit down and I say, I hate shonen anime. And you ask me, you're like, Hezzy, what shonen anime have you watched? And I name to you a bunch of shonen anime that you never heard of in your life. You don't hear any top tier shonen anime. Are you gonna take my opinion with any grain of salt? Man, I will hope not. You're literally about to make me sit down and listen to you for 20 minutes explain why romance anime suck. And you just said out your own mouth you haven't even watched some of the best rated romance animes. It's just like I don't even know. I don't even know why I get on YouTube and do this to myself. It's just every single day, bro. Every single day.
To increase over time. Hot take, many romance shows are just as generic as many isekai, but people don't want to admit it.
Oh my goodness. That was the coldest take I ever heard in my life. Do you know how many times I've heard that same exact thing? It is the same thing in every genre. Every genre has genericness. Literally every single one. It's just a bad point, bro. And it's not hot at all. It's about the coldest shit I ever heard in my life.
Everyone complains about the various garbage isekai being released each season, but romance anime are also a dime a dozen. Most romance anime even follow a similar progression of story that isekai do. I think it's weird that people are fine with most romance anime following these exact same plot progression points, beach episodes, sick days, moments where they're about to kiss and get interrupted, etc. But when it comes to isekai, or any other genre for that matter, they despise those commonalities.
Yeah. And then this is like the things that make me believe that you're not on the internet, because romance defenders have to go against these claims every single day. These are not new claims. People have been saying this stuff about the romance genre since the dawn of time, buddy. So saying that people don't say this stuff, like, where on the internet are you?
I'm not saying that the predictable progression can't be enjoyable, it just doesn't set them apart from other shows usually. I also want to say that every genre can be extremely generic. I just feel like the general consensus allows romance anime to be that, and other genres aren't allowed to. I'm just using isekai as an example here, by the way, since it tends to be the most generic. What I'm trying to say here is give everything you watch a fair chance to prove itself, and try not to show favoritism to one genre or show over another when similar bad things can be said about both. Now, why don't I enjoy most romance shows? There needs to be more than just a basic romance story between people to make the idea interesting for me. Whether it's a story of
Yeah, I mean, listen. I want you to listen to me. Bro, this is like me saying I don't like the mystery genre, and you saying to me, right? And no, I'm saying to you, right? I'm like, the reason why I don't like the mystery genre is because I need more than a basic mystery. I need some crazy shit to be going on. Some of the craziest mystery shit I ever seen in my life. Like, of course, I just don't like the genre at that point. If two people coming together to form a romance, a basic romance, you don't find that entertaining, then you just don't like the genre. That's all it is, because that's what romance is. So you simply don't like the genre. That all this video needs to be is, I don't like romance anime, this is why. And then I can respect your opinion. But when you sit down here and tell me the whole genre sucks because you don't like it, that's where you lose me.
Proving oneself, overcoming fears or past traumas, or a comedic aspect, a romance anime needs something more than just the romance when it isn't currently being presented. That's why most romance shows get low ratings from me. In order to fully immerse myself into the romance genre, I chose a mixture of shows that are generally well received, ones that seem the most interesting to me, and I made sure to cover all areas of romance as best as I could. First, I looked for a popular romance anime, wanting to see if it actually lives up to the hype. Second, I wanted a shoujo anime. Picking a shoujo anime is pretty self-explanatory, but for those who do not know, shoujo works are targeted towards females. Throughout any given year, there aren't many shoujo adaptations, if any, and the ones that do get adaptations tend to not get second seasons. This is also unfortunately the case with the shoujo anime I ended up picking out. And finally, I wanted a realistic, adult-centered romance show, as many romance anime are school-themed. I'm really hoping that these three shows are good, having a completely open mind about them. However, going into it, I was expecting 2 of the 3 to be overrated. I know the romance anime fandom are going to say, "This video stinks! There's no shoujo romance anime."
I mean, this video does stink so far. I mean, it's nowhere even close to good, but you got 18 minutes to make it up.
Anime showcased. I got you. So the first of 3 romance shows I decided to watch was Blue Spring Ride.
Bro, you know what's funny is I'm watching this right now. Like I kid you not, bro. I'm gonna show you proof. It's right here. I'm dead ass watching this right now. See, and this you can't question me. I'm a real romance watcher, man. This is an old one, so I'm interested to see what he says about this.
This is actually the anime that I thought was going to be the best of the trio I selected. Blue Spring Ride starts off in a
Bro, you know what? This is the funny thing, right? He says this, right? He just said it, that most romances go in a similar plot progression, right? This one in particular has a very weird plot progression. Out the gate, one of the characters already tells the other person that they love them, right? And the other person is he's past her, like he's gotten over her. So this is already way different than your typical romance. So what he says on this when I tell you this is a very uniquely written anime when it comes to romance. So what he says on this is gonna tell me a lot.
A rather interesting way. It showcases the female lead Futaba trying to reinvent herself in high school, performing a complete social reset. She deliberately acts less feminine to repel anybody attracted to her. She doesn't want to be ostracized and alone like she was in middle school, so she changes the way she acts around others, suppressing her own personality. Other girls were jealous that Futaba was considered beautiful by many guys, which resulted in her not having any friends. With that being said, even in middle school, she wasn't really interested in anybody except one short, soft-spoken, awkward, and uncertain boy, Ko. They ended up getting close to one another, visibly liking each other, but both of them were far too shy to admit it. She ended up blowing her chance with him. Then one day, he abruptly stopped attending the same school as her, and that relationship ended on a sour note. Even with all of that being said, she would still fantasize about him, hoping that he would return into her life. Now, 3 years later, Ko has returned, but is a completely changed man. He's now tall, much more masculine and charismatic, oftentimes coming off as sarcastic and rude, and goes by a new family name. At the end of episode 1, you even get to see them both confess their feelings for one another, as Futaba still wants to be with him. Ko, however, declines, stating that so much has happened in those 3 years. Both people have drastically changed, and those feelings are now in the past. Things aren't like they used to be. This missed chance for the two of them leads to a second chance at finding love. Futaba is able to fall in love with Ko for a second time. She thinks that if she returns to her former self, then...
Alright, don't give us the whole synopsis, because you gotta realize when you write a video like this, you're targeting real romance watchers. We know the story. So, we don't need a synopsis. Prove your point. Why is this anime garbage? Why did you not find this anime interesting? That's what I want to know.
And Ko will notice her again. But is she actually willing to sacrifice normalcy within her daily life and possibly lose her friends in the process? Well, as we see while the story progresses, the answer is yes. Despite the fact that Ko has visibly changed due to some type of trauma that isn't revealed until towards the end, Futaba recognizes that the Ko she fell in love with is still in there. The romance is interesting in Blue Spring Ride because by the anime's end is just actually starting. I did enjoy the moments of teasing and sarcasm between the two lovebirds, each obviously being interested in the other. There are plenty of moments involving romance, but that isn't the main focus thus far, at least it wasn't for me. Blue Spring Ride has 12 episodes which are more so dedicated to change. Both Ko and Futaba are slowly changing things about themselves, and kind of reverting back to the way they were, their true selves. Ko and Futaba help each other to open up. Futaba at the start of high school does a complete social reset. However, she was fake, not being her true self, and her friendship was shallow. She was playing like a high school student instead of being a sincere one. Thanks to Ko pointing that out, she's able to be true to herself and her feelings. Ko can often come off as cruel and mean to Futaba, but the truth can hurt, and you need people in your life who are willing to tell you how it is sometimes. He is also there for her when she needs him the most. Futaba is able to find a great group of friends she can rely on, consisting of Ko, Shuko, Yuri, and Aya, who encourage her to be herself. I loved seeing Futaba change throughout the anime. There's a visible difference between...
I'm not trying to talk too much here because he's not really saying anything for me to talk on, but it's just like I don't understand. You're trying to prove a point here and you're not proving it. You're synapsing a story that we don't need to be synapsed at all, bro.
between the way she acts at the beginning and at the end, becoming more free and willing to speak her mind, even chasing down Ko multiple times throughout the anime to do so. She slowly reverts back into being herself again. I love the fact that she went off on her friends in episode 2, breaking off her friendship with them, because man, I hated them. It's one of those scenarios where you see a person hanging out with somebody they shouldn't, just so they are not alone. In this scenario, it's better to be alone rather than being poisoned or influenced by somebody who isn't good to be around. Ko's change is interesting as well, and in fact similar to Futaba's, stemming from loneliness. Futaba didn't want to be alone, so she sought companionship with people who weren't truly her friends, even acting in a way that wasn't truly her. Her loneliness was the result of others' jealousy. Ko's loneliness is brought on by himself. For the past couple of years, he was hiding the pain that was brought on by the death of his mother and resulted in family problems. This brought on a fear of losing others, being reminded of the pain of losing his mother, so he never truly lets himself get close to other people, nor does he open himself up to them. This prevents him from being honest with himself as he struggles forming connections with others, which is completely different from his middle school counterpart. He's also being fake, but as a defensive mechanism to protect himself from ever being hurt again, so he never gets close to anybody. At the same time, he doesn't want to be alone, hence why he's never really home at night and hangs out with people he barely knows.
I mean, like, dead ass, right? Dead ass. Look me in my eyes, right? Has this guy said a singular bad thing? A singular bad thing about any one of these characters? Do they not sound interesting? Does the story not sound intriguing? The romance is romancing. I'm honestly, you're making your point look worse by just by showing this story in depth. Now, we would love to know the bad things about this anime. We would love to. I'm waiting for it. But right now, all you're doing is hyping it up, man. Please enlighten me. Tell me why this anime was bad or why you didn't like it.
Throughout Blue Spring Ride, you get glimpses of what Ko's like, but never the full picture, until towards the end where he's finally done grieving and ready to move on with his life, thanks to Futaba's help. He's now mending his relationship with his family and seems much more friendly towards the friend group, which is the same as Futaba's, at the end. What's great to see is that his friends are there waiting for him to get over his trauma, while being there for him the entire time. Those are the type of friends everybody hopes to have. There's a couple of small things I want to mention before I move on to the next show. Blue Spring Ride reminds me of another shoujo work, Orange, which I watched before this. The main romance pair in Orange, Kakeru and Naho, remind me of Ko and Futaba because of their appearances being eerily similar to one another. Both Kakeru and Ko are pretty similar to each other as well. Both guys act as loners, never fully opening up until
That's cap.
the end of what was shown in the anime. They distance themselves from others, albeit for different reasons. Each of their mother's death is a large reason for their sadness. In both Orange and Blue Spring Ride, Kakeru and Ko's friends are waiting for them to overcome their trauma, and are with them every step of the way, helping as much as they possibly can. Both anime showcase fantastic friendships, ones that everyone should yearn for and have. I would have liked to see a bit more from the rest of the friend group within Blue Spring Ride, characters like Shuko, Aya, and Yuri. There wasn't much depth shown from them, most of it being surface level stuff, but that's just a nitpick to be honest. Blue Spring Ride is also surprisingly funny at times, which made it a pleasure to watch. Overall, I give Blue Spring Ride a 7.5 out of 10. So with the popular anime, I went with Toradora. The story for Toradora revolves around two of the main characters.
So he didn't speak on anything that made the show not good for him. It's like, these are the videos I can't take serious. You're telling me the romance anime genre sucks. You telling us you watched 3 anime that were gonna give you your decision, all different types of romances. You described the first one with the in-depth on everything, and you don't even tell us the reasons why you don't like it. All you said was pros. All you said was pluses. I just don't understand how you guys orchestrate y'all videos like this. It confuses me, honestly.
Ryuji and Taiga, who are immediately shown as similar to one another and are essentially destined to be together. Both of them are misunderstood and feared by others. For much of the anime, Taiga and Ryuji act as a wingman for each other, doing everything within their power to get the other person with their crush. For Ryuji, it is Minori, and for Taiga, it is Yusaku. However, love starts to blossom between Taiga and Ryuji's friendship as the feelings of others get trampled upon. Taiga never takes the hint and ruins almost every chance at one-on-one time with Yusaku. Ryuji can never get out of his own way either, never being able to take a hint as to who has feelings for him and what he should actually do or say. Throughout Toradora, you can expect extremely weird and wacky moments, led by Yusaku and Minori, tons of drama, Inko, a crazy parakeet, extreme violence, usually from Taiga, and complex moments between characters. Now, the end result of Toradora shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. It's predictable. You should have expected Taiga and Ryuji to end up together, especially since they spent seemingly all of their time together, forming a decent duo and being extremely comfortable around one another, while also feeling empty when not around each other. Not to mention the fact that there's several moments where they question if they're...
I mean, it's like, what can I say in a video like this? I'm here to to prove this person wrong. To every point he brings up, I want to dismantle it. And 12 minutes in, and not a single point has been brought up to support his claim. There's not even any... He hasn't even gave us anything to why he dislikes it. Like, in 2 shows, I still have no reason what you're not liking in these anime. I mean, if this is the case, I mean, we're just gonna go around calling everything trash and then making videos where we just synapse the anime and the characters and not explain why we don't like it. Like, bro, come on, bro. Like,
original love interest is the right person anymore. Taiga and Ryuji understand one another, accept each other for who they are, and are there for each other when things get rough, building a dependent relationship upon each other, ultimately filling the void within each other's lives. However, I do think the ending is definitely rushed and could have been executed better in both pacing and writing. I am happy that Ryuji and Taiga now possess a relationship on equal footing, no longer being completely reliant on each other. It's no longer one where Ryuji is there helping Taiga every step of the way. He is a very nice guy who cares about others, but he'd oftentimes overstep his bounds. Taiga can now stand on her own 2 feet, signifying her independence. As for Ryuji, he no longer has to have his "I have to take care of everyone and fix everything" mentality, which is seen through his relationship with Taiga and his obsessive cooking and cleaning habits, as well as the fact that he helped his mother so much throughout the anime. He now trusts Taiga to do stuff herself, which is the start of a healthy relationship. At first, I thought the beginning of Toradora wasn't all that great, but it was definitely still watchable. I went into Toradora expecting it to be overrated, and through the first 8 episodes, I was like, aha, I'm right, it is overrated right now. However, after watching Toradora completely, I think I underrated the beginning. There was an episode that I acknowledged as the turning point, episode 9. The first 8-ish episodes provided a very wide view of the show, focusing on comedy and understanding what each character is like in various situations, building them up and adding layers to them. Those episodes are used as a setup for the last 2/3 of the anime, which explores many of the characters' weaknesses, insecurities, personality, and struggles, narrowing the view of the show. In it, we get to see every character become fully...
Alright, you know, this is a real rarity. I don't do this on this channel, but I can't sit through him explaining another anime. So maybe maybe in this outro, he's gonna explain to us why these anime were ass within 50 seconds. If not, what was the purpose of this video? Like, dead ass.
So overall, Romance Anime went 3 for 3, with each one of Blue Spring Ride, Toradora, and Wotakoi being really good watches. They each get my seal of approval, and if you have not already, go watch them yourselves. Now, after watching all of these romance shows, has my viewpoint changed on romance at all? I'd say that the genre is still definitely not one of the first things I look to watch, but I do plan on sprinkling them in a bit more. So overall, a slight improvement, but it's not like I've suddenly fallen in love with the romance genre, nor have I become its biggest fan. I never had any malice towards the genre, and I'm glad that the anime I watched for this video were good. Thanks so much for watching again today.
Bro, I must be fucking stupid or something. You're telling me this nigga picked 3 anime for this video. 3 random anime. And he just said it went 3 for 3 And you had the audacity to title this video "Romance Anime Suck." Bro, please. I can't, bro. I can't. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, what are we doing? Why? Why? Like, you niggas lose me every single day, bro. I just do not understand it. This shit just doesn't make sense to me. You could have easily titled this something else. You could have easily introed this video completely different. So you like the video? You'll like this one too. Go ahead and click on that. Yeah. You're still here? So you don't fuck with me? Alright, I'ma just